Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome. It is Thursday. Can you believe it? We're doing a monster stream. We haven't done one of these in weeks. That almost had like a walk-in. Can you believe it? It's Thursday. I don't have a walk-in at all, as you can tell. It's Thursday. We're doing a monster stream. It's crazy. It's been a while. I apologize. But I'm not going to spend any time apologizing. I'm just glad to be back. I'm glad to be here streaming with y'all. It is, I think, day 3 of me being a bachelor in the apartment alone. My wife is in Chicago with some friends. And yeah, I'm holding down the fort. It's not too disgusting. There's some dishes in the sink. There's some laundry on the floor. But it's not so bad. It's not so bad. I'm staying mostly productive. I mean, I'm even back to streaming, right? Look at me go. How is everybody doing? What's going on, Vaughn? I saw your chat and I was jealous. I was like, oh, that's what I should have done. I might steal that. I might put that as one of the captions. Whenever I do an episode of Monster of the Week, I have to do like 5 or 6 like puns or jokes or like catchy little like, taglines for everything. There's like 2 in the episode and then 1 on the like description of the episode, and I have to tweet about it a couple of times, and it's like you quickly run out of things to say in that kind of like ad copy, devils can help with cleaning, only if I make a deal. It's really not so bad. I don't know that I would need a devil to help me. If you're just tuning in, or if you're watching this on VOD and you never watched the show before, welcome. This is the Monster Workshop, and it is a companion piece to the podcast that I produce called Monster of the Week, where I sit down and I take one monster a week from the Monster Manual, and we talk about its mechanics, and its lore, and its history in Dungeons & Dragons, with an eye towards improving the monster and making it more fun to run at your table. So that is what we're going to do today. We are currently up to our elbows in the D section of the Monster Manual. This section that has demons, yes, but also devils, but also dragons. So we're really never going to see the light at the end of this tunnel. And we're talking about devils right now. We have 4 devils on the slot today. We have the bearded devil, the barbed devil, the chain devil, and the bone devil. So there's only 3 devil episodes, I believe. For some reason, there are more demons than there are devils. We're doing 4 today and 4 tomorrow. Next devil episode. So the way this is going to work is that we're going to go through a quick summary of each one of these 4 devils, and then we're going to talk about the things that don't work so great about those individual devils. Some of them have 1 or 2 fixes, some of them have 3 or 4. It's going to be really dependent on the individual devil. The one thing I'll say is that this is part 2 of our devil stream, so we have done a little bit of design on the in that episode that will affect this episode. One of the things that I like to harp about is that when you have like a big group of monsters like this, right, like kind of an umbrella category for a number of different monsters, all ostensibly under the same theme or the same subtype or whatever, I always like them to have some kind of unifying mechanic that a player would recognize as they're fighting them and realize like, oh, right, devils do this, demons do this, goblins do this. And so we actually designed that last session. That's what we're going to talk about first of all. The devils have no unique distinguishing power. We came up with Infernal Bargain, this idea that whenever a creature within 30 feet of the devil makes a saving throw, the devil can offer that a death saving throw, can offer that unconscious creature a bargain. If they accept the bargain, then they kind of immediately receive the benefits of a long rest. Right, so they can get back up, full spell slots, everything like that. But they do it in exchange for their soul. And once their soul is given away, it can't be done again. So it's kind of a once per campaign per character thing. And there's a lot of narrative opportunity that can come from the fact that, in order to do this, the player has had to surrender their soul. So that is the kind of power we're going to staple to all 4 of these demons. I keep saying demons, all 4 of these devils. But they might have variations depending on some of the flavors, right? That like our imp, for example, last devil episode, we did kind of an unusual twist on it where the imp will make smaller, simpler bargains in exchange for smaller pieces of your soul to make it a little bit more tempting, right? Like, why don't you just do it 5 times, then I can give you these things. But if it does it 6 times, then whoops, right? It's given up the whole soul. So there might be different interpretations of that power, but that's kind of the standard basic idea, is that when you're unconscious, you are given this opportunity over and over again, as you're like failing death saves. Hey, you could just do this, right? Great. So let's talk about these 4 devils. We have the bearded, the barbed, the chain, and the bone. We're gonna go in order of CR, not which is almost alphabetical, but not exactly. If the chain and the bone, well, you have to move them around a little bit, but it always throws me off when I'm listing them that it's like kind of alphabetical order, but not exactly. So we're starting with the bearded devil. The bearded devil is sort of a shock troop of the 9 hells. These are decently armored, pole arm wielding infantry, and they get their name from the fact that they're actually not that well armored. They get their name from the fact that they sprout these strange, like, tentacle beards from their chin. They also wield these nasty glaives. So let's look at them mechanically, and then we'll talk about them kind of in the lore and what's not the best thing about the bearded devil. So, they're pretty basic. They're CR3, medium fiend. Obviously, they are lawful evil, like all devils. They have pretty good physical scores, and then bad to average mental scores. Low armor class, normal speed. They have strength, con, and wisdom saving throws, which is interesting, and kind of rare to see saving throw bonuses in a low tier monster like this. They have normal devil resistances, right? Cold, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical weapons that aren't silvered. Immune to fire and poison. They're immune to the poison condition. 120-foot dark vision. They've got, they speak infernal, and they have telepathy 120 feet. So they have Devil's Sight, which you could argue is the unifying mechanic for the devil, but it's so niche that I wanted something a little bit more interesting. Devil's Sight basically just lets the devil see in magical darkness, too. They have magic resistance, which is nice. They have this weird ability called Steadfast that I don't really care for. The devil can't be frightened when it can see allied creatures within 30 feet of it. So it's basically an immunity to fear, but it's a little bit noodly. Like, it kind of feels like they should just maybe have it, like, I don't know. You either give them immunity to fear or get rid of it. It feels like it's taking up a lot of space, or taking up unnecessary space in the stat block. And then it's got its actions. It's got multi-attack, one with the beard and one with the glaive. Now, what's interesting about the bearded devil is that both of these are distinct, unique actions. The beard is a melee attack that hits for a small amount of piercing damage, and the target makes a saving throw, become poisoned. While they're poisoned, they can't regain hit points. So it's like not an especially interesting effect. Like, I guess that can be kind of nasty, but as far as poison goes, it's not as good as like out and out damage. Great, and then the glaive is their primary attack. Now, what's interesting about this is that, it hits for a little bit of slashing, as you'd expect from a weapon attack, but then you make another Constitution saving throw. So both of the 2 attacks make separate con saves, which I don't love. But then what happens is that you start to bleed. It's like a wounding weapon. You lose 1d10 hit points at the start of each of your turns due to an infernal wound. Now, there's a couple of interesting things here that I actually didn't note in the podcast. It says you lose hit points, which is one of the few instances in all of Dungeons & Dragons that I can find where you don't take damage, you lose hit points. It's a very Magic the Gathering way of talking about it, right? There's damage in MTG, and there's also, like, loss of life. So if you lose hit points, then your resistances don't affect it, right? You could be immune to damage, and this wouldn't matter if you failed this Constitution saving throw, right? Because you aren't taking damage, you are losing life. So it's a really interesting power that kind of gets glossed over when you kind of like go through the rest of these devils. Each time the devil hits a wounded target with the attack, the amount increases by d10. So it gets to be increasingly worse and increasingly worse. Any creature can take an action to staunch the wound with a successful medicine check. The wound also closes if the target receives magical healing. So there's like a combo there, right? You see the beard basically prevents you from regaining your hit points, and then the glaive makes you wounded, and you can't repair it without spending an action. So ostensibly, this is actually really, really nice action economy stuff, right? Because the idea here is that the bearded devil is making you either have to spend rounds healing people to stop wound effects, even if they don't necessarily need the healing, or B, spending your action doing medicine checks on yourself, which is a thing you almost never do in combat unless someone's unconscious. So again, some of this design is really fun, and I like that. My beef with the bearded devil is that I think that something about the multi-attack is a little weird. Them having 2 different con saves, one after the other, I feel like it's kind of clunky, and I think you could make it even a little bit better of an action economy thing if the beard was more of an aura. That's how it was done in 4th edition. The 4th edition Bearded Devil has a thing where if you start your turn adjacent to it, you know, you take some damage from its kind of like writhing beards. You would probably still make it be an attack action, but you could have it be a trait rather than an action and say that any creature that starts their turn adjacent to the Bearded Devil takes X amount of damage and then has to make this saving throw against, you know, getting infected with the poison. Because then the Bearded Devil is hitting you on your turn and it's hitting you on its turn, which is a lot better for its action economy. It also means its individual turn takes less time, so you're spending more time on the player's turn, and that to me is all to the good. So before we move on to the other devils, I want to go into the Bearded Devil and make those changes right now. Oh my gosh, I saw some, sorry, Devon, I missed your chats there. I like the idea of devils having long-term thinking in their temptations. They generate the situations where their bargains make sense. Yeah, exactly, that's cool. I find it weird that a beard has no grappling or restrained effect. Yeah, I hear you. Hey, what's up, Nuker Wolf? Did you just move? I didn't know that. And we've been off for like almost a month, so it's lovely to see you. Yeah, I feel you. They're a little short, I think, the little like beard tendrils, and also just like so many things have grab. Even a future devil we're going to talk about today, we're going to give it grab power. So I think I'm going to keep it with just the little poison spines. But it is a weird devil. Like even that doesn't quite feel right. Okay, so we're going to jump in here. This is TetraCube. This is a website that I like to use for my monster design to make these nice stat blocks. So I am going to import over Infernal Bargain really quick, because we definitely want that. Now, let's see. Infernal Bargain. When a creature within 30 feet of the devil makes a death saving throw, the devil can offer the creature a bargain. If the creature surrenders its soul to the devil, it immediately gains all benefits of a long rest. In addition, roll 1d20. On a 20, the Bearded Devil is promoted and instantly transforms into a barbed devil. Once a creature's soul is given, it cannot be given again. Great. Let's add that ability. There we go. In this case, the Bearded Devil is creating a situation where death saving throws are necessary. Yeah, exactly, right? Most of these devils are presumed to be doing that. Oh, I wanted to remove Steadfast and just give them immunity to fear. Conditions frightened. Yeah, I just think it's cleaner. Especially because we're adding more stuff to the stat block. So in an effort to fight bloat, I think that's like a cleaner. Nukerwolf says, been a long time, closer to work changed, so when I was on YouTube, I think we moved in May. Oh, yeah, no worries. Okay, cool. We are going to put in, so we're going to change the beard, and that's going to be called beard up here. And we're going to say any creature. Oh, what should it be? Grasping beard? Grasping is wrong. Clawing beard? Something beard. Because it stings you. I guess stinging beard? Stinging beard. Any creature that starts their turn within 5 feet of the I almost said Spine Devil, Bearded Devil, we're going to reduce this damage down for 1d8 piercing damage, and the target must succeed on a DC 12 Constitution saving throw or become poisoned for 1 minute. While poisoned in this way, the target can't regain hit points. The target can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on a success. Now, because this would be happening every round, like every person's turn if they're adjacent to the Bearded Devil, I want to put in that Frightful Presence thing, where once you save from it, then you can't you're immune to it for 24 hours or whatever. Because I think otherwise it's just going to be a lot of that. Creature saving throw is successful, or the effect ends for it. The creature's immune to the stinging beard. Okay. I'm trying to figure out a way to like type this. If a creature saving throw is successful, or the effect ends for it. Oh, hey, what's up, Hunter? Thanks for coming, friend. Caressing beard. Beard of Nettles is interesting. Okay, I just forgot what I was gonna write. I need a good place to set this. Can I put this like here? Okay, yeah, I'm like weirdly leaning it up against the... I'm worried that's gonna mess up my camera, but it'll have to do for now. It's very precarious here, folks. It's very precarious. Okay. If a creature... So the reason I care so much is that it is always better to steal text from an established printed power than it is to try to rewrite it, because these things have been edited and tested and, you know, whittled down. Or the effect ends for it. The creature is immune to the devil's stinging beard. Stringing beard. Stinging beard. Ooh, noxious beard is interesting. For the next 24 hours. Yeah, let's do noxious beard. Venomous beard. Noxious is a little cleaner. Okay. I do like venomous though. We'll do noxious. That's fine. Ability. Okay. So that's that, and then we go in here, and we can make this a little nastier. It makes 2 glaive attacks. Right. You know what? Let's just say it makes. Let's just get rid of multi-attack because it's got the beard, so it's just got the glaive, and it hits like that. I think that's actually fine. Funny, it's a little longer than it was before, but that's okay. Oh, Infernal Bargain needs to go up above magic resistance, like so. There we go. Okay, the bearded devil. Nice, nice. Magic resistance might look better as 2 columns at this point. I hate that. I hate when it doesn't quite line up, but I'll have to do. Okay, great. Awesome. That's 1 down. I'm gonna move this before it messes with my camera. Okay, there we go. Very nice. We're gonna jump over to our next devil. Bearded devil wasn't too complicated. We're gonna talk about the barbed devil. Now this one is a little bit tougher. The barbed devil is essentially it's you know, a sort of vaguely humanoid bipedal devil, but it is covered head to toe in these like sharp spines or barbs, I guess, which is distinct from the spined devil. This is one of the big kind of problems with this monster, is that it is conceptually pretty close to another devil that even has a similar name. The spined devil was CR2 and like kind of like a flying monkey, or like sort of like a winged spy, whereas the barbed devil is just kind of like a guy, just a devil, just a medium-sized fiend, covered in spikes. The narrative behind them, according to 5th edition, is that they are like bodyguards and they're kind of greedy, but there's nothing in the mechanics that supports this. They just, let's look at them. But like, the important thing to know about the barbed devil is that when I put out a poll, I think on Monday, no, it was Tuesday, about which devil of the 4 devils during today is the coolest. And it got about 30 votes, so not scientific, but nobody voted for the barbed devil. Nobody. Not a single vote, right? 0 out of 30 players agree that the barbed devil is the coolest. So, you know, not a great monster. Let's look at what we got. But the goal of this podcast and this stream isn't to say these monsters are bad and they shouldn't exist. It's how do we take bad monsters and make them good. And I have a couple of ideas, but still it's a strange one. So barbed devil, medium fiend, lawful evil, all that stuff. A little higher armor class, makes sense from the spikes. It's got twice as many hit points as the bearded devil. It is also CR5 rather than CR4, so it's 2 steps above the bearded devil. 30-foot speed, pretty good stats across the board. Their lowest is a 12 in intelligence, but very good con, good dex, good strength, and then pretty good wisdom and charisma. They've got 4 strength saving throw proficiencies: Strength, Con, Wisdom, and Charisma. Again, these devils really like those saving throws. They've also got some skills. They've got Deception, Insight, and Perception, all trained. Yeah, it's an infernal porcupine, precisely. Normal devil resistances, so cold and bludgeoning, piercing from non-silvered weapons, which is interesting. Fire and poison, condition immunity, poison, dark vision, telepathy, infernal, all that stuff. So here are their powers. They've got Barbed Hide. At the start of each of its turns, the Barbed Devil deals 5 or 1d10 piercing damage to any creature grappling it. So it starts out seeming cool. Okay, if you're next to it, you're going to take some damage. I do have a picture of the Barbed Devil. I don't have it here in the stream, but I can show you. Got the book here. They're just weird. I don't particularly care for them. I'm not sure how well you can see that. But this guy, right? Is this visible? I don't know how visible it is. Hard to say. But it's just kind of a little, it's a little dude, right? Barbed Devil, not that cool. They've got Devil's Sight, they've got magic resistance. So normal stuff. Barbed Hide seems cool, but then you realize it relies on grappling, right? And then it's got multi-attack. It makes 3 melee attacks. It's got a tail attack, which is, I guess, novel in the sense that not a lot of monsters have tail attacks. And then it has 2 claws. It's got, 1d6 claw for piercing, and the tail is just 2d6 piercing. So you're looking at about, like, 4d6, total damage output, assuming that it hits 4 times, or 3 times. Like 46 plus 9. So, okay, pretty normal. And then it's got a ranged attack called Hurl Flame, where it can chuck 3d6 fire damage. If the target is a flammable object that isn't being worn or carried, it catches fire. And that's the whole monster, right? Like, there's no... So not only does it not have the, like, unique power that all the devils have, which, okay, none of the devils have that. We can't hold that against the Barbed Devil necessarily. But it doesn't have anything unique to being the Barbed Devil. Right? I mean, I think Hurl Flame is cool. I think it's a cool visual. I've given it to characters where I think Paul's character, Eric Idlevain, in All Hell Yogg, has Hurl Flame inspired by the Barbed Devil, right? Because I think it's a cool, like very Hellboy kind of a thing. I like the visual, but why does the Barbed Devil have it? Doesn't make a lot of sense. My immediate fix there is that it throws its spines, but the problem with that is that, like, the Spine Devil does that. That's the Spine Devil's thing. So the Barbed Devil kind of exists in this place where it doesn't need to exist. There's a few things I think we can do here. And that means I'm going to look back at 4th edition. 4th edition had a lot of, like, really unique combat abilities that sometimes kind of strained the bounds of reason, but they were always trying to innovate and trying to find something to make this monster unique over that monster. So, I forget exactly how it's expressed in 4th, but they had a, Nuker Wolf says, and they're meant to be behind-the-scenes schemers. Sort of. In the text, they're presented as being like bodyguards, but they're kind of like mercenaries. They only work for you if you pay them well. They're very greedy, is what they say. But again, none of that is here. There's nothing that would make them particularly good at bodyguarding, any of that. So, 2 ideas. First of all, who grapples a porcupine? Great idea. Great point. No one's going to willingly grapple this thing. So you make the Barbed Devil grapple them, right? Like, if someone that is covered, if a cactus grabs you and holds you, I immediately wince at that. Make them about grappling, right? If they're bodyguards, if they're protectors, then it's about stopping movement, right? Someone's trying to attack, their charge, then Barbed Devils grab you and hold you in place. That's mechanically what they do. The other thing you can do, and this is going a little further out there, a little more magical, it's kind of why I like it, is get rid of Hurl Flame, right? Even though it's cool, I just don't think it really belongs here. And instead say that they have like a kind of like a cartoony, sort of like a cartoon pufferfish in a video game, right? Where it shoots its spines out in all directions. Not like the Spine Devil where it chooses one target, but it's a burst power, right? That fires quills out in all directions. Now, the caveat to that, kind of the sticker there, is that then those things can impale you. They're stuck in you, and you have to spend an action to pull them out, right? So kind of classic action economy thing. But what 4th edition does that's extra cool is they have them have a teleport power. So what if the Barbed Devil could shoot its spines out at somebody, or its barbs, it's barbs, not spines, shoot its barbs out at somebody, and then teleport to whoever has them, right? And then they're there. like that. I have not read Hyperion, but a Shrike definitely makes a lot of sense, right? If the idea is that it's impaling its prey. Because that would make them really mobile, which I think is interesting. So they're two different kind of ideas. I think they could both live in the same monster, right? There's no reason that they can't do both of those things. Because Barbed Hide is boring, and Devil's-Side and Magic Resistance are kind of boring as well. So let's go over there. We want to add in Infernal Bargain, and then I want to try this like pufferfish thing. Let's maybe say that their claws grab people, right? And then anyone who is grappling takes the damage. Okay, so Barbed Hide we're gonna keep. We're just gonna reword it a little bit. Start of each of its turns, the Barbed Devil deals 5 piercing damage to any creature grappling it. Any creature it has grappled. Maybe they're so greedy they just really want to be promoted because they know they kind of suck. Yeah, right. That's like, actually, flavor-wise, I kind of like that as the thing that they realize that, like, oh, no one really designed these devils particularly well. Maybe there's something we can put into the infernal bargain, right? That like maybe they're more likely to get promoted because they hate it. Great. The barbs. So that's the ability. And then we want to put Infernal Bargain in. We should just copy it over from the Bearded Devil. Okay. On a roll of a 19 or 20, the Barbed Devil is promoted and instantly transforms into a Chain Devil. Okay, great. That's Infernal Bargain. Add ability. Great, love that. And then, so let's see. I think we lose Hurl Flame, and we say that the shoot barbs, project barbs, barb blast. What do we call that? Barbara. But I think it's on a recharge 5/6. The Barbed Devil fires a barb at each enemy within, fires a salvo of barbs from its body. Each enemy within, let's see, within what, 30 feet of the Barbed Devil must make a DC 13 dexterity saving throw, or take, what's the damage, 1d6, take what, 3 1d6 piercing damage, and or be impaled. Let's do this, or be impaled. On a failure, there we go. On a failure, the target takes 1d6, takes 3, 1d6 piercing damage, and is impaled. An impaled creature takes 3, 1d6 damage. Actually, let's do this. Let's go 1d6 plus 3 piercing damage. Fusillade, yeah. Fires a fusillade. I mean, a salvo also works, but fusillade's a good word. Takes 3 piercing damage and is impaled. An impaled creature takes 3 piercing damage at the start of its turns. Until it takes an action to remove the barbs from its body. Yeah, like that. Yeah, but I know what a fusillade is, man. I don't need you to define it for me. There are such things as synonyms, you know. Words have, you can convey the same idea with multiple words. Yeah, A salvo was a simultaneous discharge of artillery or other guns in a battle. A salvo also works. Both words work in this context. Okay. Remove the barbs from its body. So, but I feel like fusillade is like not the right word for this. It's got to be a little like, I think it works in the description, but I don't think it works in the description or in the title, right? Barbs. Because like D&D names are always like, you had to find it for you. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. Well, like, yeah. Well, the word. Well, that's not the word I want. That's the word you want. I feel like the you love cinnamon. What does this have to do with anything, Hunter? Barb blast, barb. It's like expel barbs, you know, like. Yeah, because D&D, like, powers and spells are always, like, it's the verb. It's, like, detect magic. Hurl flame, right? Expel barbs. Okay, that is an action. It's on a recharge 5/6. Great. So we could get rid of the hurl flame reference here. We're going to say that makes 2 melee attacks, because at this point it's got a lot else going on. Melee attacks, one with its claw. Melee attacks, one with its claw, its claws, and one with its tail. Okay, that is action. Verb, noun. Cinnamon. I got it, Hunter. I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking. Synonym. Very good. Expel barbs. Yeah, that's good. So then we just needed an ability. And then this is the thing. This is going back to verb noun, exactly. Expel barbs. Detect magic. Expel barbs also feels like a something that you might do at like a prestigious institution if you had too many, misbehaving students named Barbara. You would get them all out. You'd expel barbs. Expel all the barbs from this school. Your wife is allergic to synonym. Oh dear. I'm trying to think like what the name of this is. In 4th edition, it's called Barbed Teleport, which I hate. I think that stinks. But oh right, we wanted to put a grapple in the claw. Just 1d6 damage, and the target is grappled. Escape. DC 13. There we go. That way they get that extra grapple in there. Barbed teleport, barbed jaunt. I like jaunt, I think is an interesting word. Honestly, we did something similar with I think it's the Hezrau is a demon that we said could like teleport through blood. So this is kind of like the answer to that, right? This is the infernal version of the Hezrau. Barbed jaunt. I guess that sounds a little bit like, oh, we're going out for a stroll, right? I hate barbed teleport. I think that sounds stupid. I love the concept. I love the visual of like marking them and then being able to leap to them, right? Leap. Bloody leap, or like impaled leap. Implanted leap. Impaled. Guiding barbs. Ooh, I don't hate that. Anchoring barbs, or like, because I think, okay, whatever it's called, it's like as a bonus action, the barbed devil can teleport to up to 60 feet, teleport up to 60 feet to a square. I don't say squares anymore. To a space adjacent to an impaled creature. Binding barbs, guiding barbs, anchoring, targeting barbs. Hey, what's up, Caleb? Thanks for coming. Targeted barbs. We're close, y'all. Names are tough. I'm famously very persnickety about names. I feel like it's more about the movement than it is about the barbs themselves. Like, because the barbs don't guide, the barbs create a door. Barbed portal? I don't hate barbed portal. Door of barbs. Barbed passage? Barbed passage, barbed leap, leap of barbs, quantum leap, Scott Bakula, you know. I'm very particular. So maybe this is a waste of time. Bonus action, the barb devil can teleport up to 60 feet. Seeking barbs? Yeah, but they don't seek, right? The thing is, I don't hate Passage of Pain. I really don't think it's so bad. I kind of think that's right. Because then you do this then, right? I think Passage of Pain is right. Chase the Hooked is also cool. Ziggy Barbs, there it is. Well, excuse you, Zaggy Barbs. I kind of think it's Passage of Pain. The Barb Devil can teleport up to 60 feet to a space adjacent to an impaled creature. Impaled creature. Ooh, what about this? As a bonus action, the Barb Devil can force an impaled creature to make a DC 13 Constitution saving throw. On a failure, the target takes. On a failure, the target takes. Hooked on barb. Yeah, there you go. Hooked on a barbing. The target takes 6. We'll say 2d6. 2d6 is more interesting. So it would be 6. 2d6 piercing damage. And the barbed devil teleports up to 60 feet. Teleports to a space within 5 feet of them. Yeah, there we go. Passage of Pain! Of Pain! Cool. There we go. Fixed it. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, Barbie. Shrimp on the Barbie is also excellent. That's very funny. Okay, this is a little cheeky, but we're gonna switch those two because that'll make this stat block look a little better. We go like that. Yeah. Barbed Devil. Shrimp on the Barbie is excellent. But yeah, I think it's Passage of Pain. Because now it's like you have to, you take the damage, but you also can maybe get rid of. Yeah, I'm the Bob Devil. It's me. Wow, that was really bad. I actually have an okay Australian, and that one was not good. I folded under the pressure, y'all. I forget what my like lock-in is for that. Barbed Devil. Good eye, mate. Alright. Next up is a great one, everyone. We're talking about my favorite devil. The winner of the poll that I put out. Welcome to the Passage of Pine. Here we go. The Chain Devil. The Chain Devil, or the Chiton. This is... now, I have always interpreted them visually a little differently than they're presented, especially in later versions. They are more like a humanoid wrapped in chains. Oh, does it? Okay, shoot. Thank you, Vaughn. I will change it. I'll change it. No, that is actually helpful. Thank you. I am bad at doing that. Passage of Pine. Right, that's 7. There we go. 2d6 piercing damage. The Bob Devil teleports. I could do New Zealand a little easier. I think something about Australia and it's like drawn out. Really huge apologies to any Aussies that might be watching this with my like borderline offensive accent. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so let's go view image and save stat block. Thank you, Vaughn. Sorry. Okay. The Chain Devil. So in recent, not yet. In recent versions, the Chain Devil looks a little bit more like just like a humanoid wrapped in chains. I always believed them to be, and I think incorrectly, I don't know if they ever actually looked like this, but in my head, they were always composed entirely of chains. And like there was somebody in there maybe, but you couldn't see them. They were completely wrapped up, right? Nowadays, like you look at the art in 5th, and it's like you see a big chunky thigh of this devil, you know, and it's like it's a little revealing. Yeah, just like look at that leg, look at those gams. Which, you know, whatever. I don't particularly care, but I always like them being more chain than human. This one looks a little bit too muscly for me. But I love the concept. I think the chain devil, I talked about this in the podcast, the chain devil is the devil that executes on the concept of being a devil most, I think, that like trades on, you know, hell and punishment and the weight of all of this stuff like pulling on you, you know. I think that's really cool. Makes sense that they're jailers, you know, and like orderlies of these like asylums and prisons in hell. I really love them. They're great. Mechanically, they're okay, but concept-wise it's very risque. Concept-wise, it's a 10, right? I think this is what a devil should be. But let's look at them mechanically. They've got yeah, I agree. The current artist is a circus freak working hard for a living. Yeah, it's like, listen, you know, there's like some tats on the arm, you know, played by Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Chain Devil, medium fiend, 16 armor class, 85 hit points, 30-foot speed. Now, I have a contention with that speed. I think that speed should be lower. I like the idea that they, like can't move very quickly, right? 4th edition made a big point about them, like, dancing and whirling like a dervish, and I think that that's wrong thematically. I think they should be slow and inevitable, right? That, like, this, like, you can't escape the debt that you're owed, you know? That to me is, oh, they're so cool. High strength, medium dex, high con, average intelligence, sort of average-ish wisdom, a little bit of charisma. Normal demon, I keep saying demon. Normal devil resistances, nothing unusual there. They are CR 11 though, which I think is really crazy. It's a big jump, in my opinion, from CR 5 to CR 11. It's a huge jump all the way up there. Is that right? Chained down. Yeah, exactly. Chained down. They shouldn't be moving very quickly. They should be inevitable. Is it really CR 11? I don't know. How did I not check that? But that's crazy high. CR 11. No, they're CR 8. Why do these things say they're CR 11? Huh. That's weird. TetraCube says they're CR 11 and CR 9. Yeah, why are these higher? Huh. Interesting. Well, they should be CR 8 and 9. That's what I thought. Yeah. I don't know what TetraCube's smoking, but they're not 11 and 12. So they've got normal devil stuff, magical, they got devil's sight and magic resistance. And then they have their actions. So they have actions, they also have a reaction, which I have some feelings about. So multi-attack, they've got a chain attack, right? So it's a 10-foot reach, which is nice. It hits for 2d6 plus 4, and then they're grappled if the devil isn't already grappling a creature. So it can grapple one creature with its chain, and that's it. Right? The target is restrained and takes 7 piercing damage at the start of each of its turns, so it's like wrapped up. Now here's the weird thing. In addition to that, they have a power called Animate Chains, which, and this is a pet peeve of mine, I hate any monster power that recharges on a short or a long rest. I don't care, what? Who's thinking about rests? It should either be as often as it wants, or recharge, or once. And that's it. I don't want this short, long rest garbage. So the way it works is that up to 4 chains the devil can see within 60 feet of it magically sprout razor-edged barbs and animate under the devil's control, provided the chains aren't being worn or carried. Now there's a big boring block of like each chain is an object with AC 20 hit points, resisting the piercing damage, immunity to psychic and thunder damage. When the devil uses multi-attack on its turn, it can use each animated chain to make one additional chain attack. An animated chain can grapple one creature on its own, but can't make attacks while grappling. An animated chain reverts to its inanimate state if reduced to 0 hit points, or if the devil is incapacitated or dies. It's like, what? Why doesn't it just have 4 chain attacks? Why do I have to animate? It's like the firebenders in the like Shyamalan movie where they had to use flame, they couldn't create flame. What? No, it can just make it's covered in chains, and then it just shoots all the chains. So if you're in a situation, apparently I'm not immune to poison damage. If you're in a situation where you summon a chain devil and you don't have any other chains in the room, then it just gets 1 attack or 2 attacks. It can't though, because once it grabs you, it can't grapple you again. So what? No, just give the chain devil 4 chain attacks, right? If it has to, I think 4 chain attacks, and then give it like entangle, and it just makes magical chains because it's a devil. What are we doing? Like, why do we care if there are real chains in the room? What? I don't know. Bananas to me. Get rid of it. I don't care. I could care less. And there's also this other question of like, so these animated chains can be attacked, right? Yeah, exactly, Vaughn. I completely agree. I mean, I do think you could do a thing where they have like an entangle effect that it creates magical chains and holds people. Because if you want that like slow, like I'm coming to get you thing, like immobilizing somebody that's out of reach and then walking to them, that's cool, right? I don't hate them being able to like create a terrain area. I think it's a Kyton is the name of the devil. Kyton. Is that I think the true name. But yeah, it's very weirdly worded. Get rid of it. Who needs that? But then even more bizarre, they have this reaction called Unnerving Mask. When a creature the devil can see starts its turn within 30 feet of the devil can create the illusion that it looks like one of the creature's departed loved ones or bitter enemies. If the creature can see the devil, it must succeed on a DC 14 wisdom saving throw or be frightened until the end of its next turn. Now, I love the idea that they're frightening, but what is this? What? Why does it have this power? Like, I guess it's like a jailer, but it's not a tormentor or an interrogator. It's a jailer. Those are different things. And it's not that smart, right? So it's really not meant to do a lot of the interrogations, I don't think. Right? Yeah, I don't hate that either, Vaughn says, or really increase the chain range and have them pull creatures 10 feet closer each round as a bonus action. Yeah, like a roper. There's a lot of ways you could do this. But Unnerving Mask is just, it's got no place here. It's a cool idea. You could make a whole devil around that power, right? I actually decided, so I'm plucking it out because I have a better place to put it in next week's episode. The episode that's coming out on Friday for patrons. So if you're not a patron, look out for that because that's going to go there, I think, on that monster. If you're doing your like alphabet, you probably could figure out what monster that is. It's not a devil. It's another D monster, but it fits a lot better there. It's just too cool of a concept. It doesn't fit. Let's remove it. And let's focus on these chains, right? So, okay, we're going to go in. We're going to put in the Infernal Bargain. Oh, what's up, Caleb? The way I think interacting with chains in the environment is if the devil invests some of itself in them and sees through them, so they're dungeon features, then fighting the chains hurts the devil. Yeah, that's true, but only if they're in that condition, right? Like, I think that's a severe weakness of this supposedly CR8 monster is that you have to have them around a bunch of chains. Obviously, you're likely to do that, but like I think this thing is chains, right? It would be like saying that, like, I guess some plant monsters are this way, but like a shambling mound can't attack you unless there happen to be vines in the room. It's like, well, it's vines, you know? Yeah, it's dire wolves. You got it, Vaughn. Dire wolves can shape their faces to look like your loved ones. That got me. That's very funny. Dire wolves. Okay, so let's put Infernal Bargain in there. Yeah, I mean, not that you couldn't use that chain power. It's just way more block and way more information than I need, personally. Yeah, you could totally do that in flavor, though, right? You could just say it has an ability where chains grapple you, and if you're in a room with a bunch of chains, then yeah, then you could do that in flavor. I just don't think it needs to be baked into the stat block, personally. But, you know, reasonable people can disagree. We can have different opinions. That's why we're all here. Okay, let me copy this. Let me copy over Infernal Bargain. We're going to take the Bearded Devil. Infernal Bargain. Great. Except we're not going to go to a Barbed Devil. The Chain Devil transforms into a Bone Devil. Great. That is the ability. We're going to delete Animate Chains. Ka-chow. We're going to delete Unnerving Mask. Get out of here. The devil makes 4 attacks with its chains. That is the action. And then melee weapon attack plus 8 to hit, reach 10 feet. I like 15 feet. That's smart. 15 feet, 1 target. Hit 2d6 plus 4 slashing damage. The target is grappled. Escape DC 14. If the devil isn't already grappling a creature until this grapple ends, the target is restrained and takes 10 damage. Oh, we want to give the pull. The Doppler effect against a gang of ER nurses. The Doppler effect, great. So that's a chain. Grapples them, 15-foot reach. Now, I'm wondering if it's a thing where oh, yes, thank you. I forgot about their speed. Thank you, Vaughn. Good memory. Yep, speed is 15 feet. Love that. So I'm going to look up, I think it's one of the blights, I think, has entangled. So here's my thinking, right? I think we do add in that bonus action where they can pull you closer, right? And I think that we give them an aura around themselves, much like the blight has, where it's hard to leave. Like you get wrapped up in spectral chains or whatever, or if you get too close, its chains reach out and grab you. So let's look at that, because I think that's kind of what I'm aiming for here. Grasping roots and vines sprout in a 15-foot radius centered on the blight. See? Yeah, vine blight. They create them. Why does the chain devil have to have chains around? No, thank you. So this is just going to be a neutral thing. How does the roper has like reel in, right? Grasping tendrils. Oh, that's an action. The roper pulls each creature grappled by it up to 25 feet straight towards it. Here, let's do this. Let's go. The chain devil can make 4 attacks with its chains. It can substitute any of those attacks with its drag action. I like drag rather than reel. It feels a little bit more like drag to hell, right? Okay, so that's going to be its action, and then we're going to put in drag oh shoot, I just closed it. The chain smoking devil, but one thing I actually do like about the design of devils as opposed to demons is that they have different naming conventions, right? Like the demons seem to have kept a lot of their old names, like Barlgura and stuff. I like that the devils are descriptive. That it's not all of them, right? Because you get things like the Imp or the Lemure or I forget how you pronounce it, but the Fury one, right? But otherwise, it's Barb Devil, Bearded Devil, Chain Devil, Ice Devil, Bone Devil, Spine Devil, right? I kind of like that. I think that gives them a nice, consistent theme. Let's go to the Roper. The Roper. How is real worded? So Roper. Roper. Where are you at? Roper. Pulls each creature grappled by it up to 25. Okay, so instead of each creature, the Chain Devil pulls one creature. Pulls one creature grappled by it up to 10 feet closer. Great. So that's drag, and that goes under actions. And then I want to do... we're still going to call it animate chains, but it's going to be grasping chains animate in a 5-foot radius centered on the Chain Devil. Keep opening and closing this stupid thing. I gotta figure out a better setup. I gotta get like a stand or a lectern for this, because I feel like it's in my way all the time. It's so nice to be back, everybody. It's lovely to be designing monsters again. For the duration, that area is difficult terrain. Okay, we're gonna try this. We're gonna try to put it up here. It's probably not gonna work. Oh boy, I think I'm gonna knock my monitor over if I do that. Stand by. Okay, but then I can't see it. All right. I gotta move my water. Maybe that's what I'll do. Put my water over here. And this will go here. I think I'm overthinking it, everybody. Incredible television. Everyone wants to watch it. Okay. Centered on the Chain Devil. Here we go. The area... Irinus? Okay, cool. Thank you. The area is difficult terrain for non-devil creatures. In addition, each creature of the chain's choice. I'll ask my wife. She's a classics major. She's not here. When the chains appear, well, they don't appear. In addition, each creature that ends its turn in the chains must succeed on a DC 12, DC 13. What's the saving throw, do we think? DC, whoops, the saving throw for their stupid eye thing. 14. DC 14 strength saving throw or become restrained. A creature can use its action to make a DC 14 strength check. Freeing itself or another restrained creature within reach on a success. There we go. So the idea is that, you know, it moves slowly, but within a 5-foot radius around it, the chains can reach out and pull you in, like basically like grapple you to the chain devil, right? If you're farther away, it can lash out and grab you, and then on its next turn, it can pull you in, it can drag you in, right? And then you're within the radius, and then if you end your turn there, then you get, you know, held in. Great. Love that. Okay, that is that ability. Animate chains is going to go up above Devil's Sight. And that means the chiton is done. It's actually smaller than it used to be, if you can believe that. Wow. Wow. Okay, cool. Love that. Chain Devil, done. We done her. We done her real good. Okay, that's that. Save. And we have one last devil to talk about today, everybody. Not too bad, not too bad. And that is the good old classic Bone Devil. Bone Devil is ready. The Bone Devil is a CR 9, despite what this stat block here is going to try to tell you. A CR 9 large fiend. Of the devils in the book, I gotta say, it definitely has the coolest art. It definitely does. Let me pull it up here. The Bone Devil. Look at that sucker. Look at that thing. Look at that Geiger shit. How scary that is. Get out of here. Terrifying. Love it. Love the Bone Devil. Love the way it looks. Awesome. Flavor-wise, they are described as the sort of like cruel taskmasters, and sometimes even sort of as the law enforcement in the Nine Hells. There's some interesting stuff in earlier editions where they talk about them like enforcing rules on even more powerful devils, which I really liked that idea, right? That like you might be, you know, let me try if I can get it right, an Irinus. You might be an Irinus, or you might be a pit fiend or whatever, but if you break the law, then the Bone Devils are going to come after you, right? The problem is that there is no mechanic in here that would let them do that, not even a little bit. There is a variant version that has like a hooked pole arm that ostensibly can grab people, but it's pretty easy to break out of. I don't imagine a pit fiend or something would really be caught by them for very long. Their primary attack is their stinger, and that mostly deals poison damage, which all devils are immune to, so pretty bad police, if I'm honest. But that's not always how they used to be. So let's go through them, and then we'll talk about ways that we can improve them. So the Bone Devil, large fiend, lawful evil. It's got 19 armor class, which makes sense if it has this sort of like Geiger-esque skeleton. 142 hit points. It's got a 40-foot move speed and a 40-foot fly speed with these big kind of crystalline insectoid wings. Good stats all the way across the board. Int is their lowest at a 13, but we've got 18 strength, 18 con, even 16 charisma, which is pretty impressive. Saving throws are all mental. Int, wisdom, and charisma, which is interesting. They've got some skills. They've got deception and insight, and they have their normal devil resistances. Immune to fire, immune to poison, immune to the poison condition, dark vision, telepathy, all that. Devil sight, magic resistance, normal stuff. And then they just go right into actions. So no other abilities, just that. The actions are, the devil makes 3 attacks, 2 with its claws, 1 with its sting. So the claws are D8 plus 4, and then the stinger is 2D8 plus 4 plus 5D6 poison, which is, you know, a good amount of poison. And then you must succeed on a 14 con save or be poisoned for 1 minute, and it's just the poison condition. That's it. This is a CR9 monster, allegedly. Nope. I just don't think so. I just don't buy it. I just don't think there's nothing here, right? Not only does it not fit the purpose, you know, but yeah, very funny, Vaughn. It does not fit. Not only does it not fit the purpose, but also it's not fun. Like, there's no cool powers. It just stings you, and a bunch of things sting you and deal poison damage. Like, there's nothing, like, it looks so horrifying, and then it just goes, and that's it. It's just a big scorpion. Get out of here with that. So, again, to me, the real travesty, it's not like the Barbed Devil. Well, the Barbed Devil had this to some degree, too. 4th edition gave them a bunch of interesting powers that they removed, right? Now, there's nothing here now. They had a cool power called Aura of Obedience. You know, I might get my 4th edition monster manual because I forget exactly how it's phrased, but it's really, really sick, and I loved it, and it tells you everything you need to know about the Bone Devil. I'm going to grab that I'm going to be back in 10 seconds, I swear. Okay, here we go. Sometimes on this show, I get worked up. It actually can fly, Vaughn, but not very well. If it has poison, maybe it has make that poison that bypasses poison immunity. That's cool. I'm into that. Yeah, that's smart. I like that. These are demons. These are demons. Yeah, I love bypass immunity. I think that's fun. It's a scary moment too for the player. War Devil. Where are you at? Where are you at? You here, Bone Devil, the Ozolith. Aura of Obedience. Aura 5, so 25 feet out. Bone Devils are immune. Any bloodied creature in the area at the start of his turn takes 10... Excuse me. Any bloodied devil in the aura at the start of its turn takes 10 damage, but gains a +4 bonus to attack rolls and deals an extra 5 damage on melee attacks until the start of its next turn. If a devil is slain in this aura, the Bone Devil regains 10 hit points. How metal is that shit? Right? This thing is the Taskmaster. You have to perform. Your boss is watching. Go out there and do a good job. And if you do a bad job, the boss is literally going to punish you. And it's like, you know, the beatings will continue until morale improves. It's literally here. That's awesome. What a cool power. Gone. Who needs that? They don't even try. They don't even come with anything similar. Sometimes I get kind of worked up on this show. The other cool thing it has is it has an ability called Fiendish Focus, which is it's a minor action, so it would be a bonus action in 5th. It's an attack against a target's will, so like a wisdom save, and that target takes a -5 penalty to all defenses, which in 4th edition was armor class, yes, but also fortitude, reflex, and will, until the end of the Bone Devil's next turn. So it fixes you with an evil eye, right? Again, it's like your boss is looking, oh shoot, get to work, right? Like you're more vulnerable because this thing is staring at you. Come on, that's way cooler. So cool. I love it. I'm into it, right? That's the Bone Devil, I think. I think we give them the stinger. I think we put the hooked polearm back in. We give them the Aura of Obedience. They're a cruel taskmaster. I love it. I want the Bone Devil. Okay, so let's get in there, and that'll be our last one for today. So first things first, we gotta take the this guy. We gotta take Infernal Bargain over here. Infernal Bargain. What do they turn into, though? That's the question. I think they turn into Ice Devils, unless I'm quite mistaken. The Ice Devil, no, is a 14. They turn into Horned Devils. Okay, great. On a 20, the Bone Devil is promoted and instantly transforms into a Horned Devil. Great. then that is the ability Aura of Obedience. Any devil that starts its turn within 10 feet of the Bone Devil takes X. Yeah, that would also give them a threat to other devils. Yeah, right? It's so cool. I have never seen a power, like a leader power, that damages the people it's supposed to help. Right? How cool is that? I loved it. I was instantly like, oh, that's it. That's boss. So rather than we're not going to worry about bloody. We're just going to say any devil that starts its turn within 10 feet of the Bone Devil takes X damage. What kind of damage is it? Is it fire damage? Feels like it should be fire. But they're immune to fire, so it can't be that. What does it say? Is it just 10 untyped damage? Ooh, it could be that. I kind of like it just getting over the kind of breaking those out into two different powers. It says 10 damage. Yeah, takes 10 damage. But gains. But I think rather than +4, it's going to be advantage. Takes 10 damage, but gains advantage on all attacks it makes until the end of its turn. In addition, the devil deals an extra 1d6 fire damage on each attack it makes on each attack that hits before the end of its turn. Yeah, I like that. Aura of Obedience. Put Fiendish Focus in there too. Fiendish Focus. So it's not like a gaze attack, because that's everyone who looks at it. It picks someone in particular. As a bonus action, the Bone Devil can force one creature to make one creature it can see. One creature within 30 feet of it, within 30 feet that it can see. One creature within 30 feet that it can see to make a DC X. What's the DC here? DC 14. DC 14. Wisdom saving throw. On a failure. What do we think the consequence is? It shouldn't be a penalty to AC. That's a very unusual thing to do in 5th edition. Because it's already granting, maybe it's like the target has disadvantage on attacks and saves. Yeah, the target has disadvantage on all attack rolls and saving throws for as long as the Bone Devil is focused on them. The creature can repeat the saving throw at the start or at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on a success. Until the Bone Devil uses a bonus action to target another creature. Until the Bone Devil uses a bonus action to target another creature. Yeah, there we go. Love that. That's Fiendish Focus. Okay. And then let's get down here. So claws are fine. We're just going to say that the poison... Oh, we wanted to give them the polearm. Let's get rid of these claw attacks. Makes 2 attacks. One with its hooked polearm, one with its sting. Feel it in your bones! In your bones! 2 with its hooked polearm. And 1 with its sting. That's an action. I hate it when like they have they're like, okay, the Bone Devil has claws, but they could have this cool thing if you wanted. Here it is in a sidebar. I'm like, just put that in the... Why do we need another monster with a claw attack? A hooked polearm is much cooler, so do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, ugh. Also, hooked polearm is no good. What is a hooked pole? Like, what's an example of a hooked polearm? Hooked polearm. Like, I want to call it like a Ransuer or something, you know? What's a good... Oh, it's got to be like a fork, right? It's got to be like a bident. Yeah. One with its bident. And it, like, you pierce them in place, right? Yeah. Yeah, a candy cane. There you go, Caleb. Caleb, you got it. You got it. Caleb, there's an NPC in one of my games that is named Galeb, like Galeb. And because your name is Caleb and your last name starts with a G, every time I see it, my brain goes Galeb. But no, you are Caleb, not Caleb. Two with its bident and one with its... yeah, Gary Gygax would know. Might come up and maybe give them the ability to demote lower CR devils. Ooh, that's interesting. That's interesting. What if we make a point about, like, any devil that dies? Yeah, it probably wouldn't come up, but it's an interesting idea that, like, in the aura of obedience, any devil that dies as a result of the damage. Oh, we gotta put that damage in. Shoot. Let me put this in first. Add action. Yeah, it probably wouldn't come up. It's a very cool idea, though. I can maybe put that in the lore. Nuker Wolf. I like that. Takes 10 damage. Any devil... Let's put it in. Why not? Any devil that dies from the auras... Any devil reduced to 0 hit points from the aura's damage. Reduced to 0 hit points. Well, I think they're always... Oh, I see what you're saying. Like, you want them to point at a devil and demote them. It's cool. I don't know that there's room for it. Yeah. I like the idea. What are we doing? So we're doing a bident. There's an attack, though, so let's do that. Strength. Use preset. Bident. Plus 8 to hit. The reach is 10 feet. 2d12. Woo! That's a serious hit. I didn't see that. Anyway, they should only have one attack. Good lord. 2d12 plus 4 piercing damage. If the target is a huge or smaller creature, it is grappled. Escape. DC 14. Until this grapple ends, the devil can't use its polearm on another target. Multiple bone devils can grapple the same target. For each grapple, increase beyond the first, increase the escape DC by 2. Right, so the idea is that, like, if they are going after a pit fiend, it's like a swarm of bone devils hook them, right? Because one of them's not going to do it, so you get like a squad of them come in. So that's the bident. We're gonna put that as an action, and then I'm gonna get rid of this. It makes 2 attacks because yikes, 2d12 is pretty serious business. I gotta read these stat blocks a little better. Okay, and then sting. We wanted to say become poisoned for 1 minute. The target can read the saving throw. What is the word for, like, it overcomes resistances? Takes poison damage and the target must succeed. This damage and effect. Creatures immune to poison. Creatures immune to poison damage and the poisoned condition are still affected by this attack. Or this poison overcomes resistances. Yeah, this poison overcomes resistances and immunities. Immunities and resistances sounds better. Immunities and resistances. There we go. Okay, that is that. That's there, and then we go up here. So we did make it quite a bit bigger, but it was pretty scanty to begin with. Yeah, I like that better. Oh, let's move magic resistance. Let's do that thing that we do. Ka-chow. And then update stat block, and then go like that. Yeah, there we go. Bone Devil. Bone Devil. Oh, let's change the CR. CR should be 9. I don't know why they think that. So change the CR on the Chain Devil too. Okay, we did it. We did it, everybody. Oh, nope, wrong thing. Save the stat block. That is our episode on devils. We did the bearded devil, the barbed devil, the chain devil, and the bone devil. I'm very happy with all 4 of those. What an excellent episode. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. Appreciate it. We'll be back next Thursday with another stream. With a very interesting monster. One I just recorded an episode on. Should be out tomorrow for patrons and Sunday for general public. Check that out. That's going to be an interesting stream. I think there's some cool powers. I can't wait to give that new monster, the dire wolf, as Vaughn says. I just want to thank everybody for coming out. Again, it's lovely. I was a little worried that starting up a new stream after not streaming for a while, I would have no one to talk to, but it was lovely to have everybody. Shout out to Vaughn and Nuker Wolf and Caleb and Hunter, who popped in there for a little bit. Yeah, it's lovely to have you all here. If you like this content, please make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I'm sure all 4 of you are, but if there's anyone watching this on VOD and you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like the video if you haven't done that already. That makes a big difference. You can find me on Twitter and on Discord and on Patreon. If you are a patron, you get access to the finished version of these monsters. I am slowly working my way through the demon backlog. There were a lot of demons we made earlier this year, like I think in like March, April, and I need to kind of like go through and synthesize those. So I'm still in the process on that. They'll be coming out soon, I promise. But if you subscribe to the Patreon at the $1 level, you get access to the monsters as they come out. At the $5 level, though, you get access to all of the monsters we have done for this show and for previous projects like Daily Bestiary and for the various adventures I've written and things like that. That's all on there. You can go and check that out. Yeah, I think that's all I've got to say. I will not be streaming this weekend, I don't think. You know what? I might do a Sunday night stream, actually. I have some world building I need to do for my home game, and I haven't done a Sunday night world building stream in maybe 6 months. So that would be fun. I'd be excited to get on there. So it'll probably be Sunday at around 6 p.m. PST. I'll be hopping on to do that. But yeah, thank you so much for coming, everybody. I think that is the oh, I just got it, Vaughn. The Doppler effect gang of ER nurses. Yes, exactly. That is the monster next time. Yeah, but that is our episode. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll be back. I'll be back here on Sunday, but we'll be back with this stream again on Thursday. Great. Thanks for coming, everybody. Until next time, thanks for watching, and as always, happy adventuring. Gotta turn on my camera. See you later, guys.